Welcome to another video on the channel. As you can see, it is tier ranking season. Season's about to start. We've got all our Premier League home kit ready to start the new season. And in this video today, we are going to be ranking them. So, let's get ranking them right away. And of course, first on the list, because it's alphabetical order, is Arsenal. Throughout this video, going to try and not be biased. So, let's begin. So as you can see, Arsenal have actually gone for a bit of a change there with their usual designs. They normally go for just a plain old red and white. But as you can see, they have decided to go for some dark blue. That is around the collar, around the shoulders, around the sleeves. To be honest with you, I'm not feeling it. And I'm saying this as neutral as possible because these dark colours they just do not go, in my opinion. I mean, just having some dark blue and then some bright red in the same kit of a colour just doesn't go. I get it that sometimes you need to kind of stop going for the same old plain red and white and change it into something else. That is not how you change it into something else. God forbid if I was an Arsenal fan, I personally would not be happy with that kit at all. Realistically speaking, I'd never be happy with any Arsenal kit, but you get the gist. So where am I going to rank that? Well, it's not full on ugly, so I'm actually just going to go and stick it on meh. I think that is probably the fairest way because look, it's just nothing special. Doesn't look great. I couldn't even call it average. It's just someone got clever with the colour coding and basically ruined it. So that's Arsenal. Put on meh. Next is Aston Villa. Now, as you can see, the only difference from last season kit is the addition of these faint stripes. And honestly, last season, I really didn't rate Aston Villa's kit. This slight little change doesn't change my opinion on it exactly. I mean, I've got to give credit to Villa though. At least they've stuck to, their traditions of simplicity, of keeping it claret and blue. It's an average for me. There's just nothing too good or special about that for me personally. Right, next is a new team in the Premier League for the first time in its history. First time in top division football. Welcome, Brentford Football Club. And obviously, of course, Brentford do love their red and white stripes. But when I actually look at it, okay, yes, the colours are clean. The layout of the stripes are clean. But what is that sponsor, man? Hollywood Bets. I mean, kind of makes it feel like it's some sort of cinema as a sponsor. And on top of that, what is that star? It's a complete different shade of black that just ruins the whole sponsor and ruins the whole kit. Oh my God. You see, this is the thing. I like Brentford a lot, but I am not impressed with their kit at all. Their kit is horrendous. There's only one place where this is going for me. Sorry to any Brentford fans that are watching this. You are going bottom. You are just going ugly. Ugly it is for you. Horrible kit. But I do wish you the best of luck for this season. So, not trying to badmouth Brentford in any way. Okay, so next is Brighton. Last season they went for something completely different, having plain blue with the collar, I think it was. They've gone back to their traditional stripes. And I've got to say, they are again nailing it with their kit. They have not overdone it with the sponsor. And they've cleverly put where the sponsor goes, in placement-wise that is. A white rectangle. You put the sponsor there, it is seen clearly. I can't put it on take my money levels, but what I will do is put it on a very high decent, because it is a good kit. We'll put it that way. Right, next it's Burnley. Now, I don't normally expect anything from Burnley other than an ugly ground, ugly football, ugly style of play, wooden seats. The list goes on. But you know what? There is a slightly better kit in Burnley. They've stuck to their, their traditional claret and blue, but they haven't just kept it plain and simple. You can see for the sleeves themselves that they've done quite a nice design, and to be honest, I do rate that. I'm a fan of that. The sponsor though, not so much. However, like I said, I do give credit for the colours that they've used, and the sleeves of course, and how they've designed that. I'm giving it a very strong average. I think that's fair. Fair play, Burnley. You're not bottom for once on my list. Next, it's Chelsea. Now, Chelsea have stuck to the same old sponsor. In my last video, absolutely hated the sponsor, and nothing changes there. The colour design, I've got to say as well, is just absolutely horrendous. It doesn't scream a football top to me in the slightest. It just looks more like a Formula 1 top, but minus the sponsors, or the vast amount of sponsors that is. It actually annoys me how they don't even join the yellow lines properly on the side. Like I said, for me it's just a horrendous design and it doesn't even scream football. Honestly, that Chelsea kit is just, the home kit is just shocking. Absolutely shocking. It's going straight in the bottom for me. Just Plain, ugly top. Right, just a quick disclaimer, Crystal Palace haven't released their home kit yet, so we are going straight over to Everton. Now, they've tried to go out with their traditional plain blue and whites normally. The yellow, it ruins it for me. I mean, too bright colours that just don't go, in my opinion. You know, like, if you're going to change something different, do it right, but... you know, sometimes simplicity was probably the better option to go for, if that makes sense. And I'm also not really sure about what this greyish design is on there, on the collar part of the shirt and on the sleeve part. Really don't get that at all. For me, it's just going straight on meh. The yellow has just completely ruined it. Do not like it at all. Right, next we are going to Leeds. And I've got to say, everything about this kit is wrong. From top to bottom. I get that Leeds have yellow in their badge and they want to like put a bit of yellow on their top. Alright, fine, I get that. But why have you got to overcomplicate it? I mean, you got a bunch of the yellow is just too bright on the collar and on the sleeves. Or the shoulder, sorry, on the shoulder. I mean, you're just ruining something that could have been nice with horrendous colours. The yellow and the dark blue. I mean, what is that? It just doesn't go together. The sponsor as well. Where do I begin with the sponsor? It's just horrendous, especially the squiggle next to the writing of the sponsor. I mean, the sleeve sponsor alone, like Jesus Christ. Basically, one big, huge, fat square with dark blue and yellow again. And you just ask yourself, what's it doing there? Why is it even there in the shirt? For me, the football shirt is just so ugly. From top to bottom, mixed up with all its colours, mixed up with the sponsors, everything. It's going straight to the bottom. Ugly. Now, next is Leicester City. I've been a bit critical about how some football clubs have been like mixing the colours a bit on their shirt when they don't want to go for plain simplicity. But I've got to say, Leicester have absolutely nailed it. I love the blue design to begin with. I also love how they've done with the gold. You know, the thin little gold on the sleeves. That is just perfect. It's not overdone. It's done correctly. The person who was designing this knew when to stop with the gold. I love it as well how they've got it in the inside of the collar too. The sponsor might look a bit plain and boring, but they've located it clean and presentable, and that stops it ruining the kit. Honestly, I'm putting it straight there. I'm putting it on take my money. That is a beautiful, beautiful kit. Next is Liverpool, and oh my God, what is this colour mix? You've got red, you've got orange, you've got a bit of green on the collar for God's sake. Doesn't even strike as a football top. It looks more like a top you take for hiking or camping. If you want to walk up a mountain or something. Straight to the bottom. It's ugly. Hate it. Hate it. Next is Man City. Again, this kit is looking a bit simple, but they've nailed the simplicity. The colours are just on point and they're clean. Everything about it, placement, colour-wise, colour coding, it's all on point. I also love what they did with their collar at a 10-year anniversary where they put the timing of when Aguero scored the winning goal in that memorable match in dramatic time against QPR for Man City to steal the title from Man United. And this goes straight to take my money. It's nice, it's clean, it's clever, and of course it's also simple at the same time. Sometimes you just don't need to overdo it with a kit and you can still make the best football top. Right, next we are on to the other Manchester club, Man United. When I look at this kit, it is the definition of what something that is looking so nice just then gets ruined like that. And that is from the sponsor. I mean, firstly, just what is that sponsor? I mean, when you've looked at Man United and the sponsor designs of what they've had, like Egg or Vodafone, all that car design, and then you come with this. That's Man United, literally the biggest club in the country, or one of at least. The sponsor as well is just too tiny, and the font as well and everything. I mean, personally for me, this would have been passed as a football top without the sponsor, just like how Barcelona used to play in La Liga. It would still, honestly, be a respectable football top without the sponsor. It's a shame because I really like the colours, I really like the simplicity, but it just gets ruined by the sponsor. Kit is going straight to the bottom, sponsor has killed it, it's going on ugly. Next, it's Newcastle. This is a bit of a weird kit, especially the stripe design. It doesn't really scream the traditional stripes that Newcastle have played in. And the sponsor does ruin it a lot, to be honest. I mean, I remember when Newcastle were sponsored by Northern Rock and that ale company, and that was like some elite kit. It's not a pretty looking kit on the surface of it. I'm just sticking it on meh. There's really not much to think about on that one. Right, next is newly promoted side, Norwich. The kit kind of just looks very Sunday League when looking at that design of it. And the placement of the colours, I do like the sleeve design at least. because I can give them respect on that forefront because they were being creative with that. I mean, the sponsor is a bit ugly. I mean, is that the biscuit sponsor? It's going on mare. I mean, it screams Sunday League to me. I mean, it does look like a football top, but does it look like a Premier League team would wear it? Not so much. Next, it's Southampton. Now, I've got to say, Southampton were shocking last season with their kit, and the season before that. But this season, I've got to say, the stripes, the colours, the collar, it's all clean. Again, though, the sponsor, I don't know, like, the sponsor doesn't quite match the kit, but overall, I love the design of it. I'm putting it on a very, very strong decent. Hey, here we go, Tottenham, my team. Time to be all biased and say that I am going to stick it on Take My Money. But wait a second, I'll just look at the shirt first. So I'm just going to try and not be biased here. But to be honest, I am a huge fan of this simplicity. It actually reminds me of the top that I wore as a child when my childhood heroes, Robbie Keane and Jermaine Defoe, wore. I mean, it looks very similar and it does bring me back those sorts of memories. This is an example of keeping things simple and what you can achieve with it. And quite frankly, it is a nice, clean kit. I mean, shame about the red sponsor, but it is what it is. I also love how they put the retro cockerel on the back of the collar. I love that personally. Might be plain and white, but it does scream a Tottenham top and it does scream a football top. Because of the simplicity of this kit and when you compare it to others in that tier, I'm not going to put it on Take My Money, but I am, just like Southampton, going to put it on a very, very high decent. I think it is a beautiful piece of kit, personally speaking. Let me know in the comment sections below if what you think of this kit, personally, to all my Spurs subscribers out there. Next is Watford. All I've got to say is, what is that? I mean, they're back in the Prem with very different yellow-looking kit. I mean, what are these stripes? What are these black stripes? It reminds me of a bumblebee. It also just reminds me of like a food packet that you'd see in your Morrison's or something. I mean, I can't quite put it in my head what it would be, but it just don't scream a football design to me. I mean, look at the sponsor. They have a lot of stake to stay in the Premier League. But what on earth is that sponsor? That sponsor in itself deserves relegation. And for that reason, it's going in ugly. I'm not impressed, Watford. Not impressed. Next, it's West Ham. Now, yeah, Tottenham fan, you probably think I'm going to put West Ham bottom, but no, I'm actually not. West Ham have nailed it there. They've kept it simple. It looks retro as well. It looks like I'm looking back at a West Ham top, you know, in the early 2000 periods. I do also really like the sleeve design, but it does also slightly scream golf, especially with the collar. The sponsor might not look anything special or interesting, but they have nailed it with the placement of where to put it in the shirt. And to be honest, I'm a fan of this retro look, and I'm going to stick West Ham's top on decent. It's clean, it's simple, pretty much that. Last and not least, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, I've been a fan of Wolves kits until now, you know, I think a change is sort of needed. I mean, it's not horrendous, but I feel like it's a bit... The sponsor looks a bit odd as well with that silver thing. It doesn't really go with the orange. I feel like something could have been done for change, room for improvement, maybe turn it into stripes, I'm not sure. I don't know, they could have gone for something different. I'm stuck between a very low, decent, or average, basically. The top for me is going on average. I'm not a fan of this plain orange, especially with the black side colours. Like, they're just small little sections. That's it. Anyway, that's my tier ranking done. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. Did you think I got some horrendously wrong and you thought should have been up there? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to also subscribe to the channel. You know, just hit that subscribe button. That's all I'm asking. But that's it for today. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Comment below if you want me to rank some away kits as well. In a bit, guys.